What's up, friends? Welcome to my channel where we're doing music covers, original music, album reviews, song reviews, reactions, a little social commentary here and there, whatever the day calls for. If you like what you see here, please subscribe to the channel. If you have content on here, I will subscribe to you as well. I am all about supporting up-and-comers on here. The day has finally come. We Came as Romans have released their first full-length album since the tragic passing of Kyle Pavone, Darkbloom. We're going to do something a little bit different tonight. At this point, the band has already released half of this 10-track album. And out of the songs we haven't heard already, the one I'm most anticipating is the closer, Promise You. It is the sequel to the song Promise Me from Cold Like War that was completely created by Kyle. And I want to see how they follow that up. So at this point, I've heard every song on this album except that one. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do a track by track of all the other songs on this album and then do a live reaction for that song. And I'm really looking forward to it. Dave Stevens does such an incredible job of filling the void here. I never doubted for a second that he was able to do that. He's always been an incredible vocalist. His scream singing is incredible. His clean singing is incredible. His screams have always been incredible. When this band decided they were going to continue on and Dave Stevens was going to just be the primary vocalist handling both the screaming and the clean singing, they released 2 tracks, From the First Note and Carry the Weight, that did not appear on this album because they did those so long ago. Both of those tracks were incredible. I say this album is a mixed bag because you have some of the best of what We Came as Romans do and a little bit of the worst of what they do in this album. Like, there's no middle ground tracks. It's either really good or kind of poor, I would say. And this album kind of sits exactly where I thought it would in their discography, which is better than Tracing Back Roots and the self-titled, but not quite up to par with To Plant a Seed, Understanding What We've Grown to Be, and Cold Like War. And there are moments where they really hold their own here and do their own thing, and there are definitely moments here where you're missing what Kyle brought to the band. But let's get into the track by track. Number 1, Darkbloom. This is definitely the heaviest track, and it has one of the strongest choruses. It has the best breakdown in the entire album. Hands down, I would say. When it comes to the heavy aspect of their sound, this is the best one. Like, every second of this is just incredible. I think it's the only track on this album that has a thrashy, upbeat, punk beat kind of section. The second track, Plagued, is probably the one where I feel like I misjudged it the most on its initial reaction, where I gave it kind of like a higher rating. I actually consider this kind of like one of the lower points of the album. It's really generic. It has that whole Linkin Park meets Architects thing that we really don't need any more bands doing. There's definitely better tracks than this on this album. Number 3, Black Hole. Black Hole is probably the most radio-friendly track on here, but it really works. Great songwriting, amazing hook, great vocals from both Dave Stevens and Caleb Shomo, who features on this track. It's nothing we haven't heard before, but it's done really well. Number 4, Daggers. I would consider this the worst track on the album. It has a terrible rap feature, and outside of that feature, this song really doesn't go anywhere. And I would consider it the lowest point of this album. Then we get to number 5, Golden. Again, we have this Linkin Park meets Architects kind of song structure, but the lyrics that are clearly about Kyle, the chorus, just emotion carries this song so much. It is so good. Since this song's release, I have listened to it so many times. And it's just a great traditional metalcore kind of song with so much emotion behind it. Like, I cannot say enough good things about Golden. And out of the songs that have been released already, I would say Golden is probably the best of those 5. So let's get into unfamiliar territory here. One More Day, number 6. The desperation in the lyrics from Dave to Kyle, wishing he could have been there for him through his pain. Like, I teared up several times all through this. Vocals take the lead here, and it wouldn't have worked any other way. Like, this song is just incredible. My mind went to so many places here, from my own pain to being that outsider. I've lost a really, really good friend recently to addiction that I've known since he was like 17 years old, and we've played in bands together, shared the stage together, lived together. And through all of his bouts with addiction, he's one of the few people that I've known that have never burned me, never stole from me, never backstabbed me. Like, I can't say that about a lot of people in my life that don't have a past with addiction. And my mind just went so many places through this song. This song is just incredible. And it follows up with kind of what I would consider another dud on this album, Doublespeak. This one was pretty boring, especially considering the emotional roller coaster One More Day just took us through. The electronic parts in the background were kind of cringe. The song is kind of like Daggers without the horrible feature. I can't really say too much else about it. So, moving on, number 8, The Anchor. I truly cannot understate what a great job Dave Stevens does on this album. His scream singing and clean singing are just top notch. But the song itself is just kind of bland and done before, and the only part that really caught my attention was the bridge and like the keyboard parts that are going on in that track. This one's definitely filler. And then number 9, Holding the Embers. Musically, this song is early 2010s Metalcore 101, and it's done so well. It's almost like a nostalgia trip. The anthemic chorus, the group vocals and the bridge, everything is just done really well here. If you don't like this kind of music, you won't care for this. This isn't going to be something that's going to sell you, but if you do, this will scratch that itch for sure in the best way possible. It's nothing new, but it's that OG 2010s metalcore done just right. It's time to hear how they close this thing out, so let's get into it. Here is We Came as Romans with the song Promise You.
Any pain on the day you passed away, or your week before in coma, begging that you just come home, and I can see a smile again. Anything to numb the pain that I've been living in. Over my family and friends, crying at each other cause we're all so broken. Too many pain, I came and saw you every day, holding tighter onto your hand, begging that you just wake up, and I started smoking again, anything to force myself into a deep breath, getting off oxygen, cry back out till I feel less broken. What about the fear that lives inside you, defenseless? What about another time I swore I lost you? Then I said that I never had a brighter moment. Then when you made that promise, then when you promised me. Watching you breathe into machines, wishing I could say it was all a dream. Emotions I didn't know that I had, begging day just to keep it shut out. I started talking again, anything to force myself into a deep breath. Get enough oxygen, fly back out, cause you're not coming home again. And we sat down once, worked out the fear that lives inside you, defenseless. Look on our time, I swore I lost it when I said that I never had a proud moment. Then when you made that promise, then when you promised me, then when you promised me.
So much good footage there, man. And I've seen some of it before. You're really reminded all through this video what Kyle brought to this band. And having lost someone that I played music with and shared the stage with to addiction myself, you know, it really hit you hard. And the part where he said he started smoking weed again, just to like kind of calm himself down, and you could just tell how much this loss has affected them, and that they're not just keeping on to make money, they're keeping on for him and for the legacy of this band and everything that he put his life's worth into doing. I watched this man sing right in my face, and it was such a magical moment. You know, and I really miss my friend. He was so bad on dope at times, and he never stole from me. He never burned me. When we lived together, he could have robbed me blind, and he always did right by me. I miss playing with him. I really do. And I'm so sorry for these guys' loss. I'm so glad they're going to keep going. This is not my favorite wcar's Romans album, but it is really good. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. There's a couple songs on here. Alright. Let's get it together here. Let's say the lowest points of this album are Double Speak and Daggers. The songs where they really, really just try to double down on their heavy side, I don't think they worked on this record. But One More Day, Golden, Darkbloom, those are the highlights for sure. Black Hole is really good. That's kind of like the catchy, radio-friendly kind of song, and it works. I would consider The Anchor and Plague to be kind of like the bland tracks on here. This is a transitional album, for sure. So, you know, it's an 8 out of 10. And this song here, great track. It was pretty much what I thought it was going to be. You know, just kind of focus on the clean vocals and being that Kyle was responsible for the electronic element of this band, I knew it was going to just be that. Great track. That's all I really got to say about this one, guys. Until next time, thanks for watching.